If you're holding on to someone or something that has already let go of you, this video will change how you see everything. Over 2,000 years ago, a man named Epictetus was born into chains, not metaphorical chains, real ones. He was a slave. He had no freedom, no property, no rights. And yet, he became the most emotionally unbreakable human being in recorded history. His secret wasn't willpower. It wasn't discipline. It was a single idea so simple it sounds almost insulting, until it hits you at 3 a.m. when you can't stop thinking about someone who has moved on. In the next 10 minutes, you're going to learn the 3 Stoic principles that will teach you how to detach without going cold, without shutting down, and without losing yourself in the process. And the most important principle, it has nothing to do with the other person. It's the year 161 AD. Marcus Aurelius has just become emperor of Rome. He controls the most powerful empire on earth, and he is miserable. His closest friend has just died. His marriage is complicated. His generals are failing him. His own body is betraying him with illness. At night, alone in his tent on the front lines of war, he opens a journal, not complain, but to interrogate himself. He writes, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." But here's what nobody tells you about that line. Marcus didn't write it because he had it figured out. He wrote it because he was struggling. He was the most powerful man alive, and he still caught himself obsessing over things he couldn't control, over people who disappointed him, over outcomes that hadn't gone his way. The meditations weren't a victory speech. They were a man fighting his own attachment every single day. And that fight, it's the same one you're in right now. Principle 1, the dichotomy of control. What is actually yours? Epictetus begins his entire philosophy with one sentence. He doesn't ease you in. He doesn't give context. He just says, some things are in our control and others are not. That's it. 6 words that most people read, nod at, and immediately ignore. Because here's the brutal truth. The reason you're suffering right now isn't because of what happened to you. It's because you're spending your energy on the column that was never yours. Think about what you've actually been obsessing over lately. Whether they text back, whether they regret leaving, whether people think well of you, whether the outcome lands the way you planned. None of that is in your column. Not one of those things. What is in your column? Your next decision, your response, your perception, what you choose to do with today. Here's the application. And do this today, not someday. Take a piece of paper. Draw a line down the middle. On the left, write everything you're anxious about right now. On the right, write only what you can directly control about each one. Most of the left side will have nothing on the right. That emptiness, that's not defeat. That's your map to freedom. Every item you cannot control, you are now released from it. Not because it doesn't matter, but because suffering over it is simply a tax you pay for nothing in return. Principle 2, a more fatty. Stop fighting what already is. Here's where it gets interesting. Most people think detachment means not caring. It doesn't. It means something far more powerful and far more difficult. It means loving what is. The Stoics called it a more fatty. Love of fate, not tolerance, not acceptance through gritted teeth. Love. Friedrich Nietzsche, who studied the Stoics obsessively, described it this way. My formula for greatness in a human being is a more fatty, that one wants nothing to be different. Now, before you shut that off and say that's impossible, let me tell you about a Roman general named Cato. Cato watched everything he built collapse. His republic, his allies, his cause. Julius Caesar had won. Most men in his position either fled or begged for mercy. Cato did neither. He sat down, read Plato's Phaedo, a dialogue about the immortality of the soul, and went to sleep. He wasn't running from the outcome. He wasn't bitter about it. He had so completely made peace with what he could not change that his final hours were described by witnesses as serene. Now, I'm not asking you to be Cato. I'm asking you to consider something smaller. What if the relationship that ended for a reason you don't yet understand? What if the person who left space for something your ego was too attached to see? What if the painful outcome you keep replaying was actually the beginning of something you haven't met yet? A more fatty isn't passive. It's not lying down. It's the radical, warrior-level act of refusing to be at war with reality. Here's the practice. Every morning, for 1 week, write down one thing that happened that you're still resisting, still wishing had gone differently. Then write this sentence underneath it. This happened. It is now part of my story. What do I build from here? Not because it was fair, not because it didn't hurt, but because the energy you spend fighting what already happened is energy stolen from the life that's still being written. Principle 3, the inner citadel. You are never incomplete. This is the one nobody wants to hear, because it removes the most comfortable excuse we have. Marcus Aurelius wrote about what he called the inner citadel, the fortress of the self that no external force can breach. Not loss, not rejection, not failure, not even death. He believed, and the Stoics proved through their lives, that the self is not diminished by what it loses. Read that again. The self is not diminished by what it loses. Here's what this means in practical terms. You are not less without them. You are not more because of them. Your value was never stored in another person. When we cling to a relationship, to validation, to someone's approval, what we're actually saying is, I am not enough on my own. And the ego, clever as it is, disguises its fear as love. It calls it devotion. It calls it depth. It calls it, I just care so much. But caring and clinging are not the same thing. Love, at its truest, wants the best for the other person, even if that best doesn't include you. Attachment wants to possess, to preserve, to control the outcome. The person who is detached is not someone who has stopped feeling. They are someone who has stopped outsourcing their wholeness. Here is your application, and it may be the most important thing in this video. Write down 3 things you love about yourself that have nothing to do with how someone else sees you. 3 things that belong entirely to you. If you struggle to find 3, that's the work. That struggle is the exact location of your attachment. That's where you build the citadel. I want to stop here for a moment, because I know why you're really watching this. It's not abstract philosophy you're after. It's that person you keep checking your phone for. It's that version of your life you keep mourning. It's that feeling, the one that sits in your chest at night and won't let you breathe easy. And I want to tell you something Marcus Aurelius understood after years of sitting with his own grief. The pain is not the problem. The problem is believing the pain means something is permanently wrong with you. It doesn't. Pain is what happens when something mattered. And something mattering, that's not weakness. That's proof you're fully alive. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. What stands in the way becomes the way. The attachment that is breaking you right now is the exact material from which your strength will be forged. Not someday. Now. You came into this video holding something. Maybe you've been holding it for months. And the fear was always the same. What happens if I let go? Here's what the Stoics discovered, and what every person who is ever genuinely detached will tell you. You don't fall. You don't disappear. You return to yourself, to the person who was always there before anyone else's opinion mattered, before the fear of losing someone made you small. Detachment is not the end of love. It is love without the chains. It is caring without the cost of your peace. Epictetus, the man born in chains who owned nothing, said something that has echoed for 2,000 years. Seek not that the things which happen should happen as you wish, but wish the things which happen to be as they are, and you will have a tranquil flow of life. Tranquility isn't something you find when circumstances finally cooperate. It's something you claim when you stop needing them to. If this reached something in you today, you already know what to do with it.